Hello folks, it is no secret that I do not like most ghost hunting companies. But I have to put it aside today, and actually one of the companies has got nothing to do with ghost hunting equipment. But the three products that we're going to look at today that Santa Claus brought during the week is the Flux 2 device, which caught my eye during ETA Paranormal's live stream of a mansion I can't pronounce, but a guy called John Sixth Sense. Was going to say John Sixth Sense Paranormal, like Lindsay normally says, but it's John Sixth Sense when spirits meet science. I said that without stumbling on it. And the other device actually is this Root energy energy sensor, which is an EMF detector. Both of these come from Ghost Stop, which I don't like, because they sent me this, which I don't like. But I have to put that aside. I have to put that aside today. No hard feelings. Or well, I'll try and get over this. The battery doesn't say charged on this. I think it's too noisy. I just don't like this. And well, yeah, let's leave it at that, shall we? But the other product is a Zoom. Zoom is a recording. It bases its products around audio recording devices, and they are when it comes to paranormal investigating. I use the Tascam DRO5. A lot of the people that I know, they use the Zoom H2, which is a small little light device, and it's got a little sort of a ring around the top of it with crossover microphones on them. To me, very light, but a very good recorder. Very small and compact and stuff like that. To me, the two companies are in the line of audio devices are Tascam and Zoom, and this is an older version of a device that they have, which combines a audio device with a visual device, which is a little camera. So get into the video. Hello, today we are going to look at three devices which I recently acquired, and as per usual, I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I don't owe anybody a good review or anything, so I can be complete and utter honest about things. And that's what I have been with a lot of these items. Sometimes they get a positive review, sometimes they get a negative review, and sometimes they get a mixed review. So yeah, today on the right hand side here we have what's known as the Flux 2 device, and that originally came from Ghost Stop. Also, what we have here is a Rook sensor device, and what we have here is the Zoom Q3, which is an older version of the Q3N and the Q2N. It's a Zoom audio recorder with camera combined. So that is those three objects. Now we'll go to the first one here, which is the Rook. The Rook energy sensor, that's what it's officially called, used to be made from 3D printed plastic similar to what this was, and now it is mass produced plastic. It takes a 9-volt battery, which was a little bit finicky at the back to actually put the cover back on, but you know, the fit wasn't exactly brilliant. Now you may get the impression from the back here that it is a directional EMF meter, and that is why I bought it, but sadly it doesn't exactly do that. There's a sensor at the top. These here are where the lights are, and this is your sort of graph for your EMF readings and that. No, you know, there's no numbers or anything like that. There's no values wrote on the back of it. So we turn it on, and that is it powered on. Now it gives the impression that you got readings on one side and readings on the other side, that you can trace the direction of EMF field. Let me put my EM pump on here, but it doesn't do that. You get the slight buzzing when it comes close to EMF. There's the sensor at the top. See when the last light flickers, it flickers on both sides. So it's not directional. Basically it's an EMF. It's an EMF sensor. The thing you have to be very careful of, and I had fallen into that trap, is I bought these on eBay. Now what happened was, this company that sells in the UK bought these off GoStop and then sold them on, and you end up paying more. You know, they pay the import duty and all the rest. You don't have to deal with all that, but they wouldn't be doing that if they weren't making a profit. So I would be very, very careful, you know, and do your research. If you want to buy a piece of equipment, do your research, try to find where it originally came from, you know. But basically, do you know, there's loads of EMF meters out there. This is just a fancy sensor. You know, there is a tripod. There is a tripod mount at the bottom, but some you can get EMF meters that has a tripod sensor, mount on the back or on the bottom of it. You know, it gives the impression that it will show you the direction of EMF field. It doesn't exactly do that. It's sort of clickbaity, if you know what I mean. It's the construction, I guess it's okay. It's a bit like a K2, and you know, the K2 to me is a bit overpriced, and for what it actually is. There's loads of EMF meters out there, so that is that. There's not much more I can flip and tell you. Oh yes, The one great thing that I thought was great about this, and GoStop always delivers in that department, is presentation, and it comes in this little pouch, and it fits in nicely there, and it's got its logo, and it's nicely trimmed and stuff like that, and it's a good quality little pouch. Would I recommend it? There's lots of more. There's lots of other EMF detectors out there. I would choose something else. I would definitely choose something else. You know, it's okay, but it's not brilliant. You know, and to me it is a little bit clickbaity. So that's my thoughts on this particular product. The next thing we have here is a Zoom video recorder. Zoom is highly regarded for top quality audio devices, and a lot of paranormal investigators use Zoom or Tascam. Now their priority is audio. With camcorders the priority is vision, and sometimes audio is a secondary sort of afterthought, and sometimes with certain cameras you're best to link it up with good audio equipment. This one is the other way around. The priority here is the audio, but it can also capture video. Now it is also on a it also has a hot shoe mount here, which I'm going to take off and show you. This is the recorder itself. This feels quite sort of heavy in the hand. It's not as good a quality as Tascam products, and I bought this second hand, which means I had to put that little piece of sellotape there, because the little catch that holds in the battery plate here is slightly damaged. But it takes two AA batteries, which, you know, makes it sort of handy if you know, if you're going out and you're shooting some video and you run low on batteries. You know, AA batteries is easy to come by, you know. So that is that. Here you have your lens, and I actually put this top on it for wind resistance, but this is the product in its raw form. The newer version has the crisscross microphones on it. When it comes to audio equipment, when it comes to audio recorders, when you have a recorder that has a microphone outside the actual case, you know, it is a good recorder, because you know, the microphone is shielded from a lot more from the electronics inside. This is actually a simple recorder to use. You got your on switch here. It comes up with this jingle, and right down here at the bottom you have your levels for your right and left, which is pretty cool. And there you can see you have your vision, and it says ready, and then when you press record, it gives you your time there, and it just tells you it's recording. You got your battery levels over here, and it tells me that the audio is on PCM 44. Don't exactly know what that means, but there is that setting, an MP3 setting, which EVP work. I don't use MP3 because I don't want file compression there. But you press the record button again to stop, and you got your playback. You got a little or you got a little speaker here. It's not brilliant. It's the same as any other sort of recorder. Playback isn't brilliant on most recorders. Oh, the buttons here at the side. You got your mic gains, your left and your right, and auto. Down here you got the basic flick over switch for just audio or video, and it's set on video, so there's your video settings. But as you can see, you still have your levels for your audio, and if you click it over just to audio, it won't take video, it'll just record audio. Now put it back to where it was. On your menus, it's pretty simple. Sound quality, and you've got your direction keys down here. You got plus and minus. You got plus and minus down there. You got direction keys over and back. It's telling you to press your direction key this way. PCM 44.1 kilohertz, 24-bit, and you press your up plus and minus to 44.1 kilohertz 16-bit, MP3 320 kilobits, MP3 256 kilobits, MP3 224 kilobits. I'm just going to put it back where it was. 16-bit, 24-bit, 24-bit I'm going to put it on. And you got settings here for the battery type. Oh, menu. Battery type, you press your direction key over here again, and it just says alkaline. Alkaline, and that I presume is for rechargeable batteries. And you can just go back by pressing this over here, and you can have your beep on and off. You've got a TV out actually as well. You got your date set, and that is basically it. There's not much more to this. You got your headphones, headphone line out. You have a 5 volt 1 amp power socket there. That doesn't charge the batteries, but if you're recording for a long period of time and you're in a place where you had some electricity, you could use that. Obviously there's the play button, there's the menu button, and there is the delete file button, which is easy enough to use. On the side you have a place for your memory card, and your memory card, you need one of those adapters or that size of memory card, and it goes in that way there. And there's your TV out actually there, and basically two AA batteries, and you have your hot shoe mount at the bottom and little rubber feet on it. So you know, it's a brilliant idea, but you know, this is the older version of it. So the newer version is a little bit more, I think maybe a little more complex and possibly better video quality. I've seen demonstrations on this, and the video size of the video is pretty small. I haven't put a video on I haven't put a video on the computer yet and stretched it to see how good it is. But you know, it is a good little idea. You know, if you're doing an EVP session, maybe I haven't touched it. It's an automatic turn off sort of thing. If you're doing an EVP session and you might want to sort of put it on your tripod and just have a little bit of visuals there as well, just to see if anything happens around the recorder. You know, it's a handy little thing to have. When it is recording too, there's a little red light that goes on at the front here. As you can see, it just briefly came on. The record button, the record light there comes on. It's a handy little thing. It's got a little, you know, kind of little advertisement. Upload your videos to YouTube there. When it came new, it came with a 2 GB card, which isn't very big. I have a 32 gig in that, and it's working pretty good. I don't know how big of a card you can actually put in this. So that is the Zoom Q3, but I would look at the newer versions of this if you're interested in something like this, you know. I didn't fully do my research when I purchased this, and I could have got a more modern one, but as I says, Zoom is very good with audio on that. Oh, here is you can plug it into your computer. Not a massive fan of wires like this because they can get damaged at the bottom, but you can take the card out and just put it in the computer that way, you know. Oh, it's still recording here. But that is it. I like the little readout, the display, nice and bright, very, very easy to use, no complicated settings or anything like that. And it's something that is, you know, compact. And if you didn't want bulky equipment around you, you could have something like this with you a lot of the time, you know, because it's more sort of slimline than a camcorder and that, you know. So that is the Zoom Q3. Oh yes, when you're recording, sometimes you know, the wind is not your friend, and you can get a dead cat for one of these, which is one of the, you know, the hairy, furry wind muffs. I am using the sponge from the external speaker of my PSP7, which is pretty hopeless actually. It didn't work very well at all, so the sponge kind of came in handy for that, for a little bit of wind resistance there. But there you have it, the Zoom Q3. Okay, the next item, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this on the Zoom Q3 instead of my usual camcorder. So this will sort of give you an idea of what the visuals is like and what the audio is like and all the rest of it. So the next item is the Flux 2. The Flux 2 is powered by a little USB and a battery. So you charge it up with your USB, and the battery life is pretty good on this. I did get it off a UK seller that sells ghost hunting equipment and that, but this I think originated also from Ghost Stop and that. So yeah, It did come badly packaged, I have to say. It did not come with any instructions. It didn't come in a fancy box or anything like that. Straight away you can see that this actually is a 3D printed case, including the areas up here and that. It's a sturdy little solid little block. So this is a device. It's sort of like a proximity thing, right? This is it calibrating itself. This is on setting 1, which is green. It flashes green like this. This is it calibrating itself. When it turns blue like that, it's ready. Now, if anything comes in proximity, there's the red and there's the green sort of thing. Now, it did not come with instructions, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out the instructions to you. When there's an interaction like that, it does need a couple of minutes to reset sort of thing. So that is on the first setting, which is to do with proximity. So I'm just going to get up the little instructions here, which I had to screenshot from online and that. So where we go? Turn on the device by turning the red adjustment knob clockwise. Now this is like a little it's like a little volume switch. It turns like that. So clockwise. Flux will begin flashing on both sides. Set the zone. Right, this is the instructions for the zones here. Hold on a second. Set the zone by turning the red adjustment knob left or right. Both lights will flash a colour to indicate the zone. So zone 1 is green. Zone 1 is green. It is up to 1 foot in distance. Zone 2 is yellow, up to 2 feet in distance. Probably still on zone 1 here. Zone 2 is yellow, 2 feet in distance. Zone 3 is red, which is 4 feet in distance, and zone 4 is purple, which is 7 feet max distance. So I'm just gonna. Oh, there's the yellow. That's zone 2. Now, that indicates temperature as far as I know. So we're going to go into temperature now. Due to the tone, that is temperature, I think. Right. Zone 4 is 7 feet in distance. Hold on, to turn this off. Zone after 10 seconds, both the lights will flash white and beep to indicate it is ready. Set flux down and step out of the zone area to allow the flux to investigate and begin altering. You can reset the zone at any time by turning the red adjustment knob again. Setup tips. Stay out of the zone, motion and distance sensors on each side, which is here and here. Each side of the device alert to motion in the area. With that, you want to ensure you and your teammates remain out of the zone or area of the influence. This is why we have included set of distance zones. Right. Responses. Right, we're going into responses now. Blue pulsing light. A blue pulsing light equals Flux is scanning for changes. No changes present. That's me touching the centers there. Green with scaling short low tones equals motion on the left side of the device. Red with scaling short high tones, motion on the right side of the device. Green with long high tone, temperature drop. So when the device goes on and you get a green with a long high tone, that is a temperature drop. Red with a long low tone is a temperature rise. So you have both. That was me. That's what it sounds like when the right hand side is interfered with the motion sensor, and there is the left. I'm going to let it reset and see whether is there going to be a temperature change. So that's basically it. It's got the 4 zones up to 7 feet. You've got that motion tone. The other tone is temperature change, which is red for a high an increase in temperature, and green a low a drop in temperature. That is basically it. If I can get these pictures off this phone, I will put it at the end of the video, and put it at the end of the video so you can read those. Use the directions for charging using the USB cable provided. They did provide me with a cable and a charger that came from China. It wasn't bespoke to the item itself. It was just thrown into the bag. I don't know what way GoStop packaged it, but the company that I bought it of threw everything into a padded envelope, and that was basically it. Wrapped a little bit of bubble wrap around the item itself, but it wasn't in any fancy box or anything like that, so I don't know. Oh yes. The red light will indicate that it is charging, and there's a tiny little light just right there, and when it turns green, it's fully charged. It lasts a long time, this battery, so that is, it's pretty good. There's where the sensors on each side are. So you've got a little device with motion detection. Some people say that you could use it for instance, a dialogue. Yes can be green and no can be red. I'm kind of skeptical of that, but if it works, it works. other ways of using it basically, and the way I would normally use it is, you know, the direction of where the interruption is taking place. So you've got right and left, you know. I'm just going to let it reset, or that's it there. So you could have a dialogue. If it's possible that you could have a dialogue, you could have a yes or no, green for yes, red for no, or, you know, more the way I would use it is you get some sort of an indication of where that interference comes from, and you get used to the different tones, you know. So that is basically it. Not much more to say about that. As usual, if I was to give it some negative points, I would say price again. A lot of these paranormal pieces of equipment aren't hugely advanced and can be highly priced, kind of thing. And then you have a lot of paranormal ghost hunting equipment companies taking advantage of customers by charging a lot of money for something that was repurposed as something else. But they actually did make a little bit of an effort with this one. I have to say, it's a nicely 3D printed casing here. I wish that this sensor was still 3D printed, but you know, if you can get them mass produced, you know, it's easier for them. But that is basically the Flux 2. I don't know how this video, this section of the video has come out. So, is the video recording on this particular device any good? I don't know. It isn't actually. It is an old recorder. The modern equivalent will be much better, for sure. But you know, just wanted to test out the zoom for doing this video. So that is the 3 pieces of equipment that I have. I normally do a video on equipment, and if I get pieces of equipment in, I just give you an honest review on them and that. You know, I have spurt boxes coming, so I'm going to do a video on those when they come in and that. But just to put a side note on there, the last section of that video was actually done on the Zoom Q3. What I had to do was I had to slightly stretch the video because the picture was slightly smaller, but it had a sharper picture than my normal Sony camera, which I take on investigations. This is the HDR CX 450, as far as I know. Yes, the 450. I like this little camcorder because it's so light in the hand. It's not a strain on the wrist, and I normally have a tripod grip on it like that. And yeah, it is a light, nice little camera, but I have to say that the Zoom, which prioritizes itself on audio, had a pretty good sharp picture in that, I have to say, you know. So, you know, if you were to look into this a little bit more, look up the modern versions of it. There is this is the first version, or the older version of the products that they are running with now, you know, and probably has higher resolution and stuff like that. A pretty handy little piece of kit. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with this piece, you know. So I'm going to finish now. I did try to put the pictures from my phone onto the computer and it won't let me. But if you want to, if you are thinking about getting the Flux 2 and it doesn't come with instructions, the original company was Ghost Stop, and the instructions should be on there. I will post the instructions on the Life After Life TV Productions group, and I will put it on the Lone Star Explorer TV page. I didn't get around to actually changing the name on the page because I don't know how to do it, but that's the three products that have come in recently. As I says, I have spirit boxes coming in soon, and I will be doing a video on those. So I will see you in the next video.